Hello, and welcome back to the Film Me In podcast. My name's Hamish Beaton, and this is the podcast where we film you in.
Oh.
I'm joined with the beautiful Mr. Xander Langwiston.
Hey, bud, how you doing?
Not too bad. How about yourself, buddy?
Keep it going. I'm glad to be here.
And in their very first debut as a full-time co-host, the amazing Alex Young!
Woo!
Don't say that. I don't want to be here for much longer.
Instant regrets.
Man, right, okay, so we've got plenty of stuff to go through this week. However, the first thing is going to be Tell Me Moan. Xander, have you got a moan?
Pass. Someone come back to me.
Pass!
Pass.
I'm going to throw the ball over to Alex.
Oh, okay.
Alex, touchdown.
Fine.
I don't know football.
I don't do football either. Look at me. Like, Christ. Moan. Damn. Yeah, my train got delayed this weekend. Like, by an hour. So that sucked.
That
I
sucks
mean,
super hard.
I support the strikes, don't get me wrong. But, like...
Can it not inconvenience
When, like-
me, please?
Can it not inconvenience me? There was, like, a platform full of people and I had to, like, fist fight an old lady to get a seat. You know? So, like... There was this one really horrid person who, like, just wouldn't let this old lady sit down. And they were only on for, like, 2 minutes on the train. And I was just like, oh my god.
It's like, I really support you, like, standing up for your workers' rights, but it's kind of getting in my way.
That's an incredible...
Okay.
That's an incredible impression of Alex. I can't believe it.
I'm
Is that the same
upset.
person's talking?
Some might say I have a voice mod on.
Some might say.
I hate you. Anyway.
All right, my moan. My moan is gonna be. You know what? Fanta.
Fanta?
I've got a bone
How
to
can
pick
you
with
moan
Fanta.
about
Is
Fanta?
it their Nazi origins, or is it something
It's a little
else?
bit on the Nazi origins.
They've got Nazi origins.
Okay, so for those who don't know, the Nazis made Fanta.
They've got normal origins now. It's fine.
No.
They use normal oranges,
Yeah.
don't they?
No, yeah.
They
Oh,
don't
for
use
God's
Nazi
No.
oranges.
No, but
Those would be really rotten by now.
for the listeners back home, the Nazis did make Fanta, but
They did a good job. It tastes wonderful.
Oh, snip.
Oh, snip hitting the cutting room floor. But like, okay, so my issue with Fanta is it's owned by Coke,
Yes.
and Coke put out like everything. I'm pretty sure they own Sprite as well, which,
do.
let's be honest, who the fuck drinks Sprite these days? But
I do.
I've never seen you drink Sprite once since
Because I
since
don't
I've
spend
known.
all of my time with you. I
You
don't
do.
spend all my time
You have
with
a
you.
life outside of this podcast. What?
They've
Sometimes
been on
I
it
wish.
twice, including now.
They're not allowed to leave the recording session. But my bone to pick with Fanta is that if you go into any shop, like Coke will be for like 180, 190 for like 2 liters. Fanta
That's not
has
true.
the gall to be at like 250 or 280.
Nah,
it's like the best
you're lying. I don't know where you're shopping, but I've never seen a bottle of Coca-Cola, like on-brand Coca-Cola, be sold for less than $2.50.
Oh, okay.
Never in my life.
Okay, but either way, Fanta like staples itself above it.
Yeah, as it should.
Like the best drink.
Especially
No,
the
no.
like cloudy version.
Okay, it is an amazing drink, but like I'm not paying that. I'm sorry.
Okay, well then don't.
Okay, right. You're
What,
not like
what a fantastic
understanding.
moan.
No. Okay. Should I go with something morbid like climate change next time? You know what? I'm unhappy the planet's dying.
I don't know. Alex is unhappy that people are getting pay rises, so...
That's
Oh,
very
fuck
true.
off.
It's very true. Imagine living.
Go on, what's your moan? What's your
Yeah,
moan,
what's your
then?
moan? Come on.
I got a moan, right? And this is
Oh,
gonna
it's already
extend
bad
out.
already. It's bad already.
I feel like this is going to... this might extend out, and we might end up having a larger discussion on this. But I've been reading a lot of things on Twitter today, coming
Oh,
out about
great.
The Rock. I'm sure you guys will have seen this as well. About him, how he's he kind of like fisted the DCU with Black Adam
Oh,
by
yeah.
like refusing to
did.
integrate it with anything else, including Shazam, where the character's origin is from. Black Adam is the villain, the main villain of Shazam. So it would make sense for him to at least turn up as like a cameo or something. But no, The Rock was like, absolutely not. I'm gonna lead the DCU going forward, along with Superman. It was really bizarre. Like,
No, you've got to get the little
hand
hand thing he does. The little like hands pressed together. He goes, "I'm gonna lead the next DCU."
I'm the boss. I'm your boss.
He messed it up like straight away by being like, no, Black Adam is not a villain. He's like an anti-hero. Like, just immediately messed that
Yeah.
up. He was like, main character.
Well,
not a villain.
it's on the vein of like with the Fast and Furious movies. One of the movies, his contract was that he couldn't lose a fight on screen.
This is what I was going to get to. I have a problem with The Rock and action stars as a whole in this generation. Because in the 80s, Sly Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger were like the top two action stars. There were others as well.
Jackie Chan.
Exactly, Jackie Chan as well. You've got these people who would be in movies, be the villain, be the hero. Either way, they would get their asses beat in fights in movies. And it was all to purpose the story that they were in. Whereas now, it's all about ego and how they all look.
They care more about the way that they're perceived rather than putting on a good performance and a good action show.
For sure.
Or a good action film or just entertainment in general. They're like, it hurts my feelings if I lose.
One of the only people I've noticed that is fine with this, I guess two. I guess I'm just kind of linking wrestlers here. It's John Cena and it's Dave Bautista.
They are
Two
wonderful.
based individuals.
Incredibly
wonderful,
based
those two.
individuals.
John Cena was happy to watch his character get absolutely annihilated in the Suicide Squad. Like, so...
And it's all
just
to purpose.
To make this great story.
It's all to purpose, the character and the story. And then
Yeah.
he prevails from it because he gets his own TV show from it. So, just that actually letting the story progress does better things for yourself. Dave Bautista, in Guardians, he's the butt of so many jokes. He gets his ass handed to him in that movie. He nearly dies in that first movie. And let's be honest, he's probably going to die in this third one. So he's very okay with that sort of stuff. So I don't know, man. Like, I wish there were more action stars like they were back in the old days, where they just sort of did whatever it took to make the film good. Whereas instead now it's more about like pissing contests. Like, that's why Dwayne Johnson's not in the Fast and Furious movies anymore, because him and Vin Diesel don't get on. And so instead of coming together to make actual good Fast and Furious movies, they're just like, well, no, he's a dick, so I don't want to talk to him. Harumph. Like, it's so silly.
They're really thinking they're a lot more than they actually are. No offense. Like,
See, for me, The Rock, and from what I know on his impact on the DCEU, was that he said he wanted Superman in the movie, and Warner Bros. Higher ups responded with, "Well, we don't have a Superman." And his response was, "Yes, you do. It's Henry Cavill. Go get Henry Cavill."
Yeah.
Which led to the whole announcement of, "Oh, Henry Cavill's back as Superman." And suddenly, because the Warner Bros. Execs, this is before James Gunn was hired, were all doing backflips because they had finally sussed out what people wanted. And, because let's be honest, they are horrendously out of touch, those Warner Bros. Execs. They are horrendously out of touch.
No doubt.
Especially after what they did with Batgirl. Cancelling an entire movie as a tax write-off.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Shocking.
The fact that we never got to saw that is a crime.
Yeah, it'd be illegal. If anyone else saw that movie, it would cost Warner Bros. $80 million.
It makes me so sad because Brendan Fraser was going to be it.
Brendan
Firefly.
Firefly. Oh, man.
He was going to be Firefly. And the suit in this behind the scenes was amazing.
Yeah. But they freaked out. Then James Gunn got hired, and James Gunn was actually like, well, we're going to scrap all of that stuff. And then had to be the guy to take Henry Cavill's Superman out the back and shoot it in the back of the head.
Yeah, be the villain. He had to be the villain because, like,
He did,
honestly, I was
'Cause
excited.
The Rock didn't want to be.
I saw that post credit in Black Adam. I was like, let's go. I really like Henry Cavill as Superman, and I want to see what he can do going forward with like actual Superman writing instead of Jesus writing. Like violent Jesus. He's not violent Jesus. He's Superman. Like, let's make an actual good Superman movie with Henry Cavill. We'll see how it goes. And no, we didn't.
Yeah, it is a shame, and I again put it down to The Rock, because the man is like, the man ran that movie like a goddamn egomaniac.
Yeah, he did.
And I'll be honest, having rewatched Black Adam, the main characters might as well be the Justice Society.
Yeah.
Because that's who you care about. That's who you root for.
That's who you watch it for.
That's what you watch it for. Black Adam is this emotionless prick throughout the entire movie.
Yeah. He looks ripped as hell, though.
He's ripped as hell, but you know what? Steroids does that too. So...
So yeah, I don't know, I got a thing with The Rock. But guys, let us know what you think. There's a little thing on Spotify now where you can send us questions and answers.
Is there?
There is. It's very cool.
When did what?
We've had a
about
response
that.
once. So if you've got a thing about The Rock, go open up your Spotify real quick while we're talking to you and be like, yeah, fuck The Rock. Or, hey, back off The Rock.
Yes,
Amen.
I saw that response.
Oh,
I
God.
knew that response happened. Yeah, we yeah.
Yeah,
knew
to
that.
be fair, I should have put it in the chat, sorry.
We knew that happened.
I show up, I'm a pretty face, that's it.
Not even that. Sorry. No.
Okay.
Unnecessary.
Okay.
Shots fired.
Alrighty, so now that we've come to the end of our Tell Me Moan, despite the fact that it was a little of an elongated moan.
It was, sorry.
Moan.
Jesus Christ.
We are now onto the main topic. Shazam 2.
Shazam!
Fury of the Gods. So, before we get started, do not worry, this is going to be our little non-spoiler zone. We're going to give our thoughts on the movie, maybe give it a little bit of a rating, even though we're trying to stray a little bit away from ratings, because that's beginning to rub off on me, little Joseph Cook.
I'm just a bohemian, I'm really sorry, guys.
But we are trying to stray away maybe a little bit from that. However, this is going to be our thoughts, feelings, and general overviews on the movie. I'm going to go with Alex. Alex, what do you think?
It was a good film. I didn't want to go see it to begin
Me
with.
neither.
When Xander said, "Look, you need to go watch Shazam for this week's podcast," I went, "No, I don't wanna see this film because I've heard it's terrible." And then I went and saw it yesterday at the time of recording, and it was good. It was really good. I enjoyed it. Obviously, there's issues with the film, but like overall, like I watched it. I was happy. I left the cinema feeling pretty good.
I was chuffed.
It was a bloody good ending.
Okay.
I think this is a rare occasion where the third act kind of saves this movie.
It does.
The third act is really good, like considering. Like, I don't think the rest of the film is bad in any way. I mean, it's not the best. It's just fine, but like in a nice fine. I was ready to go into this and for it to be aggressively mediocre and just be like, yeah, it's fine. But I walked out being like, it's fine. There are slight tonal shifts there, and I think it knocks it up a couple of points. I think my main problem with this movie is Zachary Levi. I think I'm kind of bored of the shtick.
Yeah.
Of like, wow, I'm a superhero. Wow, I can shoot lightning. Wow, everything's wow, cool. Oh my god, look at wow. I'm kind of bored of it. Just grow up a bit, bro.
Yeah, it does come...
I mean, it is a kid.
He's 18. That's a man.
He's not 18 yet. He's not 18 yet.
So my actual issue with Zachary Levi is that he's less mature than Billy Batson's actor gets on in the movie.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Oh yeah.
like anytime Billy's on screen, Billy is responsible. Billy is he's like trying to be a team leader. And
Yeah.
then what? You've just got like fucking dickhead. Like
He's a bit too silly and goofy compared to his child counterpart, I would say.
yeah, he's just a bit of a knob.
Yeah, it's I think it's clear that in the first one there was definitely that divide. Like he's an orphan. Like no one wants him. He's very downbeat. And then he becomes Shazam. He's like, oh, that is so obvious the disconnect there. You can tell the actors never met. But in this one, I think it's a little more clear that the actor, we should give him his dues. He's called Asher Angel,
Asher Angel, okay.
or is it Asher Angle? I'm sorry, mate. You were really good in this.
He is excellent. In it.
He was amazing.
Yeah,
I want more Billy.
I think it's clear that
Yeah.
he was sort of studied the first film and tried to add a little bit more of that childlike wonderment into Billy. I think that does come across slightly when he is Billy. He's sort of a little bit more, fun than he was in the first one, but still, there is still that definite disconnect because Zachary Levi wants to do what he wants to do, and because he
They
knows what
seem
this
like
character is to
completely-
him. Whereas I can't remember who it was that mentioned this. Was it you? It might have been you, Hamish, that we talked about this with. About how when in the cartoons or the comic books, how Shazam or Captain Marvel is very like when he, because no one in the Justice League knows that he's a kid. He tries to act very much like an adult when he's Shazam.
This was me, and the idea
was
is
you.
that because no one in the Justice League knows he's a kid, and that means in all like these like Justice League meetings in the comics, he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go mow my lawn." Like he'll like randomly stand up and say stuff like that and then leave, because the idea is like he he has no idea how to be an adult, and whenever he's like around like the Teen Titans and stuff, because they're his age, he's like trying to be buddy with them, and people are like, "Why is that old man trying to be friends with teenagers?" Because
See, that's fun. That's fun.
Yeah.
That's more fun.
it's a real shame because they have I don't fully dislike the characterization of him as Shazam. I don't
Yeah.
fully dislike it because there's times when the characters kind of bleed together. Like in that third act when it's no longer Captain Marvel trying to be Captain Marvel, it's just Billy.
Yeah.
Billy doing what's right for his family. But I don't know. It's like there's something missing, you know?
It's a lot like, again, going back to it. It's like Zachary Levi is just playing himself, like The Rock just plays The Rock. If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel like Billy. It just doesn't, and I crave for more of the scenes with Billy as a kid over him as Shazam.
Those were the highlights of the first movie. The highlights of the first movie were the family and the interactions with
Yeah.
all the child actors.
I
The
agree.
thing this movie does wrong is most of the time it's the superhero versions of them, and I think that some of the actors do a really good job. I think the grown-up actress for Darla, the little girl, the really young one,
yes.
she's great. The older act, like
She's wonderful.
she's got that exact thing where she's like, oh, hello, like she's got like that exact same childlike. She's got the same eyes. It's crazy. So she's really good. But the rest of them are just kind of like stand-ins. I don't know. None of them else really give it anything.
I would disagree with that with some of them. I think Eugene is good. I think he's wonderful. I think that him as his older counterpart doesn't get much screen time.
Yeah.
But I thought he was okay.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, well, first of all, we'll talk about Mary. so glad Mary's actress just gets to be super powered Mary.
Yeah, that
Like-
makes sense.
Like why they in the first movie as well? Why they chose like a different actress?
In the first
She-
film, it
she
makes
lo-
sense because she's under the age of 18 in the first film.
I-
So it makes sense in the first one, but then obviously in the second film, she's now of
I mean,
age.
I kind of get that, but at the same time, she looks the part. She is an adult. She looks like an adult. So like, I don't know. It was there
I don't
ever
know.
really a need?
think it
I
was
am, however, glad that she is getting to do that because she expressed a lot of interest, her actress, about wanting to be in that Shazam suit. So I'm very, very glad to see that. However, right, we've gone a little bit off topic. Everyone, thoughts and feelings. We'll go around. In a clockwise circle, which means it is Xander first. Xander, what are your quick thoughts and feelings? Give us a rating.
Oh, you bastard. I think that it was, like I said, it's fine. I don't think it's better than the original. I think the original is still I think it's going to become like a family classic. I think it's going to be one of those films that like families put on at Christmas and be like, oh, let's watch Shazam, because I think it's quite accessible in that sense.
Okay.
I think, Rachel Zegler is a fucking movie star. I love her so much, and I also love Jack Dylan Glazer. Is that his name? He's so Jack Dylan Grazer. He's so good in this. He is the heart of this movie. Without him being such a strong performer, I'm so envious of this kid because he's so good in this. It's outrageous. He's like they're both movie stars. Like, give them a romantic comedy. They're wonderful together. Give them all of the money. I just want to see a movie with them two hanging out. They're great. There are, like I said, I'm sort of mentioned, there are standouts in this. I also think Jamin Honsu is a really good re-edition.
Mm-hmm.
But it sort of falls flat. It's forgettable villains. It's, beige CGI villains again. It's, it does feel sort of long like the first one did. Like I said, I don't think that much of the family heart is there again as it was in the first one. But when it is there, it shines. I think the movie's got some problems, but overall, I think it's fairly solid. If it was on TV, I wouldn't turn it off, because I think the movie only gets better as it goes on. So, number score, I'm falling around a 6. It's a passing grade.
Okay. I can get
get
behind
fresh on Rotten Tomatoes as a 6 out of 10.
that. Okay. Alex, you are up next.
I am gonna disagree completely. I think that the villains in this film were more memorable than the last. Maybe that's just because I'm a nerd of Greek mythology.
Yes.
The introductions of the Daughters of Atlas was damn. You know what? It hurts my feelings. The choice of villains as the Daughters of Atlas, the nods to other Greek mythos, the creatures. When I was sat in the cinema, and I loved all those aspects. I think that the family was a lot more focused on in this film than the first. I see your face, don't question me. And because it was just the sweet little moments. And yeah, I thought it was just a lot better than the first, to be honest.
Okay.
I thought the action was incredible.
Out of 10.
7, low 8.
Would you?
How have you said so many different things to me? Yeah, it's like 1 above it.
Okay, fine. It's a 10 out of 10,
No,
Xander. Is that what you wanted to hear?
no.
I think it is for the perfect film. It could have been better if The Rock was in it.
Would you turn it off if it came on TV?
Nah, I'd sit down and watch it.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna agree with Alex that the villains were more memorable. Because they actually did something in the movie instead of float about for a bit. They actually do things, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie, but like they felt like a supervillain. I mean, Dr. Savannah in the first movie, he killed some board members. Oh no. Anyway.
Nobody's gonna miss them.
Anyway, he killed some Wall Street guys. It's like the Joker all over again. No.
Oh my god.
Don't make me do the Joker monologue. I'll do it.
Oh
I'll
god,
fucking do
no,
it.
please
Please don't.
But then you got this movie, and this isn't a spoiler because they're supervillains. There's people like kicking the bucket left, right, and center.
It was raw.
It's raw. I mean, there is a bit of gore. But I mean, the Daughters of Atlas have a phenomenal opening. And it does establish them as a threat. And not only that as a threat, but like a genuinely menacing threat. So I don't know if it seems like a good enough like entry on my villain list. I will say with Shazam villains, they're all either like Shazam related. It's kind of like looking at a Flash villain. They all run fast. In Shazam, what? It's just a guy in a black Shazam suit who also shouts Shazam, you know? It's ooh. And then otherwise they're a Greek villain and they're all in Greek armor. Ooh. I could be doing a massive disservice. I'm not a big Shazam comic fan, but I probably am doing a massive disservice seeing that one of his villains is a sentient caterpillar. But
they are scary.
No, they're not.
Did he tease that in the first one?
They did. At the end in the post-credit scene. But I don't know. I love the personalities they brought. I love their designs. But like when I looked at them and they're like, it's the Daughters of Atlas in the trailer, I was like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
You know, it was like one of those movies that
but be honest. Did you know any of the Shazam villains before the first film came out?
Black Adam.
Oh, forget Black Adam. The Rock doesn't count.
I knew like one or two of them. But
and also, if somebody's whole gimmick is Greek mythology, you can expect their villains to also have the same.
I mean, yeah,
gimmick.
I think it's just the issue that the way the trailer was made out to be, it's like I should know who the Daughters of Atlas are. It's like, it's the Daughters of Atlas. I'm like, okay, right, that tells me fuck all. It was kind of one of those situations when we met a villain, and I was like, I'm gonna have to watch this movie. I'm gonna have to put some time and really hope that I know who these people are by the end of the movie. Which, dare I say, I maybe didn't. Out of 10, I'm gonna say a 7. I enjoyed it.
7 solid. That's an average rating of 6.3.
You know, that's too close to
recurring.
That's too close to Xander's score. He doesn't like it when you get close to his score, but you say something so drastically different, so you gotta up it a bit.
Maybe a very low 8.
Oh, you bastard!
Yeah, no,
I can't do the quick
still too
answer on
different.
that one.
At a push, a low 8.
No, you know what? I get it. I think I'm just trying to hold films to like slightly more accountability now. I'm kind of tired of films just being fine. I don't know. We'll get. I think I'm ready to get. Into
Careful, you're turning into Quentin Tarantino and being like, superhero movies aren't cinema.
That's Martin Scorsese.
Oh, was that? I thought that was Tarantino.
No, I think they all say it.
They're not cinema. They're not cinema. Are they playing at the cinema, mate?
I want to go into some spoilers and talk about the villains a bit.
Okay.
Yay.
I'm going to do the obligatory thing and say spoiler warning, despite the fact Xander plays a spoiler warning.
I do. Do you guys want to hear it?
No.
Spoilers. It already played.
And there's the spoiler warning. Oh, wow, what an amazing spoiler warning.
Do you guys
wish I
genuinely
could
not know what it
leave.
is? Have you never listened to an episode of this podcast?
I do.
I have. I do.
Do you know what it is?
I listened to the one that I was in and then I turned it off, so I don't know.
bastard.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So, spoilers. Xander, you want to talk about villains? Talk about villains. Go.
I think they turn too quick. So like Lucy Liu is just like, oh yeah, I'm bad. Helen Mirren's like, hey, I'm bad as well. We're having great fun. And then all of a sudden they're like, you know what? I don't want to be bad. Helen Mirren's like, I don't want to be bad anymore. For literally no reason. It seems like it comes out of nowhere. And Lucy Liu's like, no, I'd like to be bad some more.
I'm gonna argue
And then they just
so hard.
And then Lucy Liu just fucking kills her. It's like, yeah, I want to carry on being bad. I like being bad.
Did you watch the film?
Yes,
did
I
you
did
watch the film? You clearly did not watch the film because it is very clear they all have the exact same goal of planting the seed in the garden on Olympia. So then
But Lucy Liu just decides
the
to be a
magic can
little
come back.
more bad.
Well, no, it's clear that there's a rivalry between the two. She's what, the goddess of chaos? It's literally said in the film that she's the goddess of chaos.
On IMDb,
so,
she's
and
just
her
called Calypso.
actions.
And
Please
if you ever
hurt
need
yourself.
a calypso, here is what you must do. First of all, you take a rhythm and shake a little, shake a little, shake a little, shake, and you bang a drum and you sing and strum, and then there's a calypso for you.
It does not come out of nowhere, the term, but the argument between the three sisters. It does not come out of nowhere because even literally in their first appearance, it's clear that, like, the younger sister is wanting more power, but the older sister's like, no, we need to be patient, this is the plan, we need to go by the plan. There's a clear divide.
Yeah, there's a clear divide, absolutely. But Lucy Liu, God bless her, she really can't act menacing. Like,
I think she
when
can.
she's shouting, I just giggle. I just giggle when she's shouting. I can't even do a good impression of her. It's just really funny.
She's a lovely woman.
I'm sure she is. She seems really nice.
Okay.
And she's good in Futurama.
I agree that the divide maybe could have been a little bit more like shown to be built because initially I thought that they were always going to plant the seed in like the realm of Earth. I thought that was the go-to. I thought that was the big vengeance plot. And then we're kind of like 180'd a little. And like their idea was we're just going to trap Philadelphia in a bubble and fuck off now. Bye-bye. Like it was a little bit of like a weird one, but in hindsight, now knowing, like now being able to like look back at the film, it's there. For those listeners at home who do not have eyes and currently are not watching our computer screen, Xander and Alex are currently engaging in what I can only describe as hate crimes through sign language at each other.
I would like to. Oh, you've ruined my point, Hamish.
Have I? Oh, I did.
No.
Mustn't it be a good point, Xander?
You guys will have to give me a moment here.
Oh.
Okay, well, I'll go. That's fine, because I've got a lot to say. I've got a lot to say. So, again, I disagree with you. I completely disagree with you, because, like, it's very clear why they put the bubble around Philadelphia. They literally say it. It's a taste of your own medicine. That's it. Put your hand down. I'm not finished. And I don't know where this, like, it's very clear what their goal was from the beginning. Like, it's plainly, like, spelled out. I'm pretty sure, like, Hamish, you were sat next to me. I'm sure we watched the same film.
Okay. I don't think it was as clear from the get-go. I also think that there really should have and could have been a scene that maybe showed what happened and given the characters a little bit more of a stronger, like, visual motive for us to get behind, rather than just, these old two people, here's a book, they're gonna show up and they're gonna dust a few people. You know? They show up and they're like, we're the daughters of Atlas! Meh! And we're like, okay, why? Like, why?
It is told.
Why do I...
They tell you. They literally tell you. The pen, the floating pen.
Later on in the movie.
So
that's like halfway through.
So they also entirely give up on taking everyone's powers because they're like, we need to take all the powers because they're stolen. And it's like, you know what? that's a really cool idea for a movie. That's really cool. But then as soon as they get that apple, they're like, yeah, I don't give a shit about the powers. You keep them. Keep the powers. That's fine.
Well, because they're not.
They
No,
just
that's
stop
true.
trying to take
That's
everyone's
very
powers.
Okay.
true. That is...
You didn't watch the film.
No.
You didn't
no,
watch the
that's
film.
True.
No,
That's
because they
true.
said that they got some of the magic back. It was enough magic for them to get in to the, I forget what it's called.
God realm.
What is it? The cave of
Oh, the Rock
the
of
cave of
Eternity?
like Rock of Eternity. That was it. Sorry, they used that to get into the Rock of Eternity to get the seed. They're not
They
going
don't.
to tell the people that are trying to stop them what their plan
Well,
is. They're not
no,
going to turn around and be like,
they
oh, by the
don't
way,
use
bestie,
the-
we told you that we're going to take your powers, but we're not actually going to take your powers. We're actually going to get into the Rock of Eternity to steal the apple that none of you know about, but we're going to tell
They
you this.
don't
Okay,
use
hear me
that.
out
No,
here.
wait, hold on.
Hear
They
me
don't
out.
use that magic to get into the rock. She purposely gets captured, gets taken to the rock, and then melts her way out of a cage.
Yeah, but they don't want it. Yeah, but how would she been able to melt her way out of the cage without
She's
magic?
a god!
Did you not listen to the film? All of the gods had their powers stripped from them by the wizard.
I don't know. Before that, scary chaos lady, Calypso, is using some magic powers even before
Yep.
some of their powers are stripped. So it's a little bit inconsistent.
If they just needed a bit of power to get the apple to then grow their own life back, why didn't they just say that to like the nice heroes that probably would have been like, oh right, yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't know that. Let's give you some of our because we still need it to look after our planet because we've become superheroes now. Why not give you a little bit of it and then you can give it back to us once you've got this apple and started this again, so then you can gain your powers from the apple again. Because that's really what they want, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very clear that either of you didn't watch the film. So obviously there's a tactical advantage to taking away the powers. They didn't have powers until they touched the staff because they literally couldn't break the glass. They had to like push it off the table, so they didn't have their powers. Touched the staff, got their powers, then they did the whole ooga booga turn everybody to stone kind of thing.
So they did have magic.
Oh my god, am I speaking to a brick wall? They didn't have magic, then they touched the stick, then
Yeah.
they had magic.
Okay, so
So
your
that,
point
but it
about
clearly
them-
no, but it clearly wasn't enough magic to be able to get the seed. So therefore, they obviously drained Freddy.
I don't know. They just melted a metal bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the
I-
feats here, they're inconsistent.
They're not.
They
Okay,
kind of
let's run through
are.
a quick, really quick timeline. Okay, super duper really quick timeline. No powers in the beginning. Had to break glass by like pushing it over because they couldn't do it with their powers. Got the stick, had magic. Drained Freddy of his power to get more magic. Easy, done. First person out of the way. Then what is it? They drained. No, they didn't. Anyway, had a few powers. Got the kind of stuff going. Drained a few more people. That was like a whole other thing with Pedro and everything like that. By the way, Pedro is such a sweet character. Got the apple. Had a little tiff about what they were gonna do with the apple. Yeah, I think it makes sense.
Which isn't really explained up until that time when Freddy is brought before them. What they're actually doing with the apple, like what their fixed intention is, whether it's to plant it
Okay, do
on
you
Earth,
want them?
and whether it's to plant it in their own realm. It's
Do you-
never specifically stated which one they're gonna do.
I don't care enough to argue about this.
Okay,
I'll be honest. I just wanted to let people know that I was still here.
thanks.
It's a valid take. That's a very valid take.
Characters. What do we think of all the characters?
I thought
The family as well.
I thought the Daughters of Atlas were brilliant. I thought they played pretty good characters as a whole. I disagree with you, Xander, when she's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go be evil." There is a build up. There is a divide.
Thank
There's a
you.
divide straight from the beginning scene. Whenever she tries to take the other half of the staff, and she tells her she's not worthy to wield it. So up yours. I
Sick.
think the Shazam family. I like the Shazam family in this. I really did. I'm glad that we got to see more of them.
My only problem with it is that in the first film, the kids were so they were the standout part of it, and in this, it's the same characters, but I wanted to see the family as they were in the first one. I wanted to...
I get that.
No, but because they were the heart and soul of that first movie, and so then the reason why the third act is, I think, the best part of the film is because you get to let the kids just do their own thing. Like
But
they
in reality,
carry the film at the end.
the film is only 2 hours 10 minutes. You've got to build up these three new villains, and do so. There's so many characters.
It is also 10 minutes too long.
Is it?
I
think it's 10 minutes too long.
I think it's the perfect length.
I think it needed more to be good.
Something I've never heard. Sorry.
I know. I think it needed more to be better. Like, it needed a few more establishing scenes of, like, motives and such for villains. I wanted more Billy! This movie is a movie called Shazam. A movie about Shazam. Who is Shazam? Billy fucking Batson!
I wanted more superhero Eugene, but that's maybe because I have a fat crush on Ross Butler, who played him.
Handsome boy.
He's a handsome boy.
I think if we go back to the things that really do work in this, I mentioned it in my, like, the best reason to like this movie is for Rachel Zegler and Jack Dylan Glazer.
Oh,
Agreed.
the performance as Freddy was... I'm so glad we got more focus on Freddy as well in this film. It was wonderful. Yeah. It was beautiful. I loved him.
Really great stuff. And that whole bit at the start where he's, like, telling it, oh yeah, I'm just on the phone to, like, the superhero.
Yeah.
That's really great. And I sort of saw the twist coming that she was sort of a semi-villain. But she, but when it happened, I was like, no, please don't. Don't break this poor boy's heart. But then she's still like, you know, I really like them together. And like I said, she's now unfortunately starring two pretty big flops at the box office. She made a name in West Side Story, which she's great in, and it's a really good movie. Made no money. And then it's currently mid-bomb. It grossed $30 million opening weekend in the US, which is piss poor for a movie like this.
It's currently only on 66 million. I say only, but
Speaking on the notes on the bombing of it, that sounds really bad. That makes me sound like I'm speaking about a terrorist attack. Of how it bombed, the director has come out and said, because he was interviewed about how he felt about it, quote unquote, bombing at the box office, and to directly quote the man, "I don't care that it's bombing. They paid me up front."
Respect.
Yeah.
Mad respect to David Sandler. I really like this guy. I've seen him on... do you guys watch VFX Artists React?
Yes!
Yes.
Corridor Crew. I watch those guys. I think he's been on it once or twice. And he's like a really cool guy. And he's very open about the filmmaking process, which is what I think we need more from directors. Like, fuck your artistic process. Please just tell me what's going on and how you did things, because it'll teach more people. Yeah, I quite like him. He said he's going back to his horror roots after this because he's kind of done with superheroes and big budget stuff. He just wants to do his own thing. I respect the hell out of that. And I think that's one thing in this that is so refreshing to say. The CGI isn't a problem.
It's good.
It's because he's an ex-VFX supervisor. So he knows how to craft good visual effects. And it shows because this movie looks great.
This movie's VFX. I mean, okay, aside from Gal Gadot.
That was okay.
Oh,
that
no, it's
wasn't
good.
as bad as I thought it was going to be.
I didn't spot it. I didn't.
didn't.
Someone said it afterwards. Like, oh.
I knew about it, and I was watching very closely, and you can sort of tell.
Yeah, but that's because you know. It's like
Yeah, that's
saying,
because
oh,
I
there's
know.
a spot on my forehead. is it noticeable? And
Don't-
it's like, well, now that you've
don't
said
look at
it,
the spot.
you know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
going into it. I thought
I
it
mean-
was fine. I actually thought it was good. It was better than like what was it, the taking away of Henry Cavill's mustache in Justice League.
That's a whole movie. That's slightly different.
Okay, side note as well. Let's touch on the Wonder Woman cameo, because it's like built up to be a surprise at the end. They showed it in the fucking trailer.
That was terrible.
The trailers really did this movie no favors because everything is in it. Absolutely everything is in it. Even like the point where the emotional climax of the movie when he says to his foster mum, he calls her mom, and they have that really emotional moment. They have that moment afterwards where he transforms back into Shazam, and it's like, oh yeah, you've seen everything in this movie. Literally everything is in the trailer, even down to the weird cameo at the end.
Oh, also, yeah, the cameo itself. I said this to Alex, like, it's a touching scene. Billy's died. They've buried Billy, and then out of nowhere, it's banana bam bam, like the fucking
It's
the
way
theme.
too loud. It's too intense.
Jarring.
They could have done a beautiful, subtle kind of like the Wonder Woman theme on a lyre, which is fitting for the aesthetic of Greece. It's such a beautiful instrument. It would have been so touching in this heartfelt funeral scene. But no, it blasts in, it ruins the mood, it ruins everything.
Also, I'm surprised they let them keep that in, since they're not going to do another one anyway. Why bring him back if you're not going to do another one anyway?
Oh my god, it's Black Adam with Superman all over again.
Yeah, like just let the movie end with him dead. Like what? Surely they shot another version of this where they're like, yeah, let's just see what happens if we just keep him dead.
Well,
Let's just see what happens if we end this franchise.
they're building to what seems to be a Justice Society movie. However,
But it's okay.
We're not getting-
all of it's been
building to anything.
Not gonna get
They're
it.
not building to anything.
Yeah, no. All of the Justice Society stuff has been scrapped. A load of it got announced after Black Adam came out. Like, in those few weeks before James Gunn was hired, there was going to be a Hawkman spin-off. There's going to be this, that, and the other. All gone.
All gone.
No.
The only stuff now coming out now, the next thing we can look forward to is Superman.
No, there is a lot of stuff like the
Brave and the Bold.
Authority and
Oh yeah.
like all of this really cool stuff, which I'm super duper excited for. But like, no, I get exactly what you mean.
I will also throw hands if they whitewash Damian Wayne in Brave and the Bold. I will throw hands.
I will.
But yes, it's an odd one. I think James Gunn, his roots with DC and what he reads on DC is very much, classical DC. And a lot of that is the Justice Society. So I am hoping he builds on what we saw in Black Adam, because dare I say it, the Justice Society fucking slapped in that movie.
Slap.
I hope we get to keep them.
Yeah, they went fucking hard in that movie. So
What is the other dead franchise that got rebooted and there was another film coming out that was like...
this narrows it down, buddy. This narrows it down.
No, but it's like this movie came out and everyone was like, well, why do we care about this? It's part of a dead franchise. And they're like trying to set other things up. Was it also DC?
You might be talking about Disney's Willow, because no one ever gave a shit about that movie, but they made an
Willow?
entire
No.
series.
No,
They
there
made
was
an
another-
entire series on it.
No, there was another franchise that's been going on, and they like decided they were going to reboot it, but they had a movie coming out anyway. And so they just like sort of...
Oh,
shoveled it out.
Transformers. Bumblebee. I mean,
No.
I'll find it.
Okay. Let's continue.
You guys.
We'll crack on.
Okay.
I am glad that with the post credit, if we're on the talking about like this Justice Society really quickly, I'm so happy to see Amelia Harcourt again.
James Gunn's wife.
Yeah, unreal.
Well, she's a great
People have
actress
been-
as well.
She's a great actress, but like, it's weird to think that like James Gunn had to sit down in Peacemaker and be like, that's my wife. Like,
I mean, to be honest, I couldn't see anybody else playing her role now, especially after.
she
Peacemaker,
plays
so.
an amazing Harcourt.
It was lovely to see her and John Economos again in the fantasy.
Everyone is clowning on James Gunn for hiring his wife, and he's like, "Listen, I wasn't part of this movie. Stop it. Like, the only thing I cast her in was Suicide Squad, and then she happened to be a continuing character in Peacemaker, and like she's just been added into Black Adam and this. Like I didn't do that.
Well,
I'm not in charge of this.
She was in. Yeah. No. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
She's a wonderful choice.
My favorite thing is that the DC execs who have crammed the one successful property that they have, which is the Suicide Squad, into every single movie, they're so out of touch with the fact that the Suicide Squad shouldn't be their flagship property. It should not be. It should be the Justice League.
Should be the Batman Part 2.
And it downright should be Batman. Doesn't matter what format it comes in, Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman are your flagship properties. And they're putting out mediocre fucking movies with them. And they're like, oh, great, well, we'll do a movie about the villains. The villains that aren't set up in any of those movies. So we're just meeting them, they fucking die, and then that's that. I'm a massive fan of the Suicide Squad. But it is so clear that they are crutching so fucking heavily on the Suicide Squad mythos.
I was thinking of the X-Men.
Oh, yes.
Do you remember way back when
I was
thinking of
Oh
Dark
my
Phoenix
god,
and the New
yes.
Oh my god. I
where
haven't
they just
seen
like
the
had
new
to
ones.
they just had to release them, and they were like, well, nobody
Well,
cares because we know the mouse bought you.
New
We know
Mutants.
that Marvel are gonna do something.
New Mutants was in production for 5 years, wasn't it? It was in production
I remember
for
seeing that
ages.
trailer. Was it 2017? That
Must
trailer
have
came
been.
out?
Yeah.
I was the only person in the cinema when that came out. By the way,
I watched it.
I went opening day.
I watched it at Alex's house, and periodically turned around and went, "It gets even more racist." Oh my god!
Yeah, because I wasn't paying attention. I think I was like doing something else.
You were on your PC.
I was on my computer. I did not care. He was just like, "Do you want to watch this with me?" And I was just like, "No."
The movie is absolutely dog crap. Dark Phoenix ain't much better though.
I haven't seen that either.
Christ.
Anyway, we are way off topic.
Yeah, we are
Yeah,
on to two
I'm-
entirely different movies.
I'll be honest, I'm kind of done talking about this movie. It was fine. Like I said, it was fine. I maybe would see it again just because I would love to be on the level you guys are on. But after my viewing, I was like, yeah, I walked out of it. I was like, you know what, that was fine.
I enjoyed it.
It was a really good
It's just a
film.
shame I didn't really like the main character.
I always
Yeah.
found Shazam to be the kind of like what you mentioned about like action hero, like superhero movie. You can turn your brain off,
Yeah, for sure.
and
for sure.
and there's periods in it when you get genuine emotional attachment. Like the first movie did excellent with like Billy building of like his story, and his like character and his character arc of coming to terms with his new family. And in this, they try.
Yeah.
There's not too much of like an emotional arc that you can name on why Billy turns to calling Rosa his mum. It just kind of like you get that start. By the end of the movie, he's like, I don't know what to do, and then he calls her mum. There's no real kind of like there's bits and pieces. It's just not strong enough to name, if you get me.
I get what you mean.
Aside from that, bloody good movie that was. Enjoyed that movie, I did.
Bloody good movie. It's satisfying ending.
Honestly surprised it's been sort of ragged on so bad. It's got 53% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I don't think it does not deserve
It
that. I think it
doesn't
deserves a
deserve
lot more
it.
credit.
Yeah, it's got 87% audience score, which I honestly thought was what the score would be in general. But anyway,
Yeah,
the average rating is 5.8 out of 10.
that's
on-
atrocious.
on-
Critics will be critics.
Yeah, but on IMDb it's got a 6.7, which I think is fair. Anyway,
Alrighty. Well, we are finally out of the spoiler zone. Woo! Look at that. We're out. You're free. If you're just joining us again, hello. Welcome back from your little time skip. Let's move on to the next and final end of the podcast. It is going to be pitch me your idea. Now, I know Xander's usually the one people pitch it to, but
pitch me your idea. Do you mean sell me your movie?
sell me your movie. It's not just a movie. It's, you know what? You asked me to do like this stuff this week.
Yeah,
It's
man,
gonna
you
be
did a great job.
It's gonna be pitch me your idea. This is the segment where you can recommend me a movie, a book, a TV show, a song, whatever you want to recommend me it.
Or a book if you're a nerd.
You scared me then, because I was like, we need to pitch an idea. This is not what I got told. I have no ideas. Like,
not a single original thought has passed through my head.
has it ever?
Alrighty. Alex, pitch me.
The video game Bloodborne.
Oh, okay. Walk us through it.
Because it is a Dark Souls game, which, I mean, that's an immediate no from a lot of people, but give it a chance. Set in Victorian, sort of a Victorian Gothic sort of setting, horror, definitely, and it's one of the most brilliant games when it comes to storytelling.
Okay.
Telling you about the tale of a blood infection of an entire population of people, about them, you know, exploring and testing on ancient gods which they have no business of knowing about. Xander, stop. And
What? This sounds cool.
it is. It's one of my favorite games. So much
It's
so
a
I
shame I'll
literally
never play it because I suck at video games.
I suck at video games too. I still haven't finished it. But
it's
I have
very
a tattoo
heavily-
of it as well. So
It's very heavily rooted in Lovecraftian mythos as well, isn't it?
it is. It's heralded as one of Miyazaki's best games. Who's the
Okay.
creator of all of the Dark Souls franchises. So if you like
Interesting.
gothic horror, if you like just creepy shit, it's an amazing game.
Beautiful. Xander, your recommendation.
Well, one of the films I watched this week, I am unable to talk about yet, but I'm sure we'll get to that one. One of the other, and I will call it a film that I watched. I have recommended before. I rewatched Bo Burnham's Inside,
Oh God.
and then the outtakes. It was immediately after the previous one that I will not talk about yet, because it made me feel like slightly more safe in my house. And then I went to the cinema and I saw 2 movies in one day, back to back, proper like whiplash, like movie whiplash. One was a Best Picture nominee, After Sun, but that's not the one I'm going to focus on. I'm going to focus on a new release that we mentioned a couple of times in our wrap-up of 2022, but it hadn't come out yet. And it finally came out. It is the quasi-prequel to the movie that came out, X, last year. It is called Pearl.
Okay.
It's starring Mia Goth. And this is, like I said, it's the prequel to X. If you didn't see X last year, it's a movie set in the 70s about a group of people coming together. They make a porno in a farmhouse.
Oh my
and
god,
the
yeah,
people-
I've seen this, yeah.
X is really good, and the old people from the farmhouse kill them. It's a classic slasher setup, and I think it's a great mix of homage and elevated horror. I think it's a really good movie. If you haven't seen that, check that out. Here Comes Pearl. This was shot at the same time as X and was released a couple of months after it in America. It took them a full year to get it over in the UK for some reason. And it stars Mia Goth as Pearl, who is the old woman in the first film in X, and it's set when she's younger. So it's set 60 years prior in the year 1918, and it follows her wanting to be a star. She's destined to be a star, and it's about her. She's sort of stuck at home. Her dad's like in a wheelchair, so she's looking after him. Her mum is super involved in her life, trying to like just controlling her, and she just wants to be a star. And Mia Goth, man,
She
What?
is wonderful.
she's wonderful.
Agreed.
I've not seen her give a bad performance in anything yet. Before this movie started, there was a trailer for Infinity Pool. That looks really good. And she's in that as well, so I'm gonna have to seek that out when that comes out. But no, it's classed as a horror film, and I understand why, because people die. But I wouldn't call it scary. It's a little bit intense, but like it's just a really good movie. Mia
Okay.
Goth gives the performance of her life, and the fact that she's just not been mentioned for any major awards from last year is nuts. Because she's so good in this. There is towards the end of the film is where she has like her full, like, this is where the Oscar reel would come in. She has like a full 10-minute monologue where she just spouts all of her emotions and feelings at someone. And it's so raw. It's like she's doing full snot acting, everything. It's a really great scene. And it's followed up by, during the credits, it's just her staring down the barrel of the camera, unblinking. And it is haunting. It lasts for a full, like, 3.5 minutes. And it is absolutely incredible. I don't know why, like I said, this movie's been overlooked so much. The rest of the movie is really good. There's some haunting imagery in it. And everyone else gives really great performances. And I can't wait to rewatch X now after watching this, because I feel like it's just going to elevate it even more. There is going to be a third movie in this sort of trilogy, following on from X, starring, well, Mia Goth was also the main star of X as the main girl in that, so it's going to follow her character. I'm excited to see it. But Pearl is definitely one you should go and check out. It's a real Pearl.
Love that. My recommendation to you will be the Transformers 1986 movie.
Oh,
So,
you got the touch!
You do! You damn right! Stan Bush! You beautiful bastard!
Yeah!
So, for those who don't know, Michael Bay's absolute dumpster fire of a series of movies is based on a cartoon called Transformers G1 or Generation 1, which is based on a toy line, which is based on a Japanese toy line named Diaclone, for those who don't know that bit. So, in G1, you'll begin to kind of draw some comparisons with like their designs if you ever watch any G1, with like the Michael Bay designs, and for some characters you won't, because he has absolutely fucking butchered the source material.
He's ruined them.
For those who don't care, Alex was someone who initially just liked Michael Bay movies. I showed Alex the G1 movie, and since then they have been hooked. Start with the G1 movie, because the G1 cartoon can be a little bit like corny. The G1 movie is hyper like budgeted. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I watched it is like kind of the Infinity War of like childhood cartoons, because you will see, if you're like grew up on Transformers, you will see your childhood die before you. But it's still a damn good movie.
This is true.
They have Orson Welles in it, who voices the main villain, and oh my god, is it a phenomenal performance as well.
Is it Unicron?
He voices Unicron, the massive... Yeah. It's a planet-sized transformer that eats other planets, which is fucking awesome. I won't spoil anything, but the first 20 to 25 minutes of that movie, I rewatch just on my own. I could happily just rewatch the first 20 to 25 minutes and be happy. I don't even need the rest of the movie. I'd be happy with just watching the first 20 to 25. It is my favorite animated movie of all time. Please go watch it. It is a masterpiece.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that when you're a kid, it ruins your childhood. You grow up so quick watching that.
I don't think you understand, Xander. I got this movie for Christmas. I got this movie for Christmas because the Michael Bay movies came out, and I was like, oh, Mom, I really want to watch the Transformers movies. And my mom was like, hey, Mish, there's a little, they're adult because it's Michael Bay. There's tits in every shot, and there's, like, explosions and people dying. So my parents must have just gone and asked someone, where can we get the Transformers movie? And they found, like, the most cartoony looking one possible.
Yeah.
I got it. I was like, this isn't the Transformers movie, and I watched it, and it's like, it is one of my favorite movies. And it holds up. It stands the test of time. And I watched this on Christmas morning, and burst into tears.
I got my dad for Christmas a couple of years ago the full box set of the original cartoon.
You
Oh
legend.
my God.
You king.
So
You absolute champion.
yeah,
Your
I
dad's
know
got
the
good
feeling.
taste. Your dad's got very good taste.
He does.
Is your dad single?
I don't know why I'm shocked. This is not the first time someone has come on here and tried to flirt with my dad.
Really?
via podcast.
Really?
No,
Oh
it
my
happens
God.
fairly
Oh my
regularly.
God.
Yeah.
Tell him to give me a call.
But like I'm a grown man and a nerd by that standard.
Yeah.
But I have sunk unholy amounts of money into G1 Transformers. So
Alex rolls their eyes.
No, I
No,
have
no,
as
no.
well.
Alex has as well.
As well.
Oh God, there's two of them.
for like actual like screen accurate sculpts and stuff, because that movie it's like a core memory. I feel like it's Inside Out when they're like, this is a core memory. The first 20 to 25 minutes, if you care about Transformers, will like break you, and then the rest will like build you back up again. And the soundtrack, Stan Bush, you beautiful man. Oh, and Weird Al as well. Weird Al's in the
Weird Al is
music for that
incredible in
movie.
that film. Yeah.
Oh, he does an amazing song called Dare to Be Stupid. That's my secondary recommendation. Go listen to that by Weird Al. Fucking amazing. Anyway, right. If no one else has anything else to add, I think that is the end of the episode. Thank you all very much for listening. I've been Hamish Beaton. Xander, who have you been?
I've been Xander Langwiston.
Alex, who have you been?
I have been Alex. Beep.
Nah. Nice. And you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at the official Film Me In podcast. And Xander, where can the good people find you?
At those ats, everything that you need from me is in the description under podcast links. Just head on over there and drop us a message. If you've got an idea for an episode, shoot them over because we have no ideas.
We're unoriginal assholes.
We're just happy to hear from anyone. And that is also, the Instagram is where you can also find all the amazing posters done by the wonderful Mr. Joe Cook, who will have also done a loving one of us, all as maybe Shazam this week. Who knows?
Ooh. Alex, where can the good people find you?
Nowhere.
Valid!
I have no social media presence, and I intend to keep it that way.
Well, you're on social media now because of this.
Oh no.
The government know where you are, Alex. The IRS are coming for those taxes.
No. I
as for
don't
my
pay my taxes.
As for myself, you can find me on Twitter at BeatenHamish, where we chat all things fun that are about film, or we can also comment and like Joe's old tweets.
Oh no!
Aside from that, thank you very much, everyone, for listening. Bye-bye!
Bye. Shazam!